Who's stronger, Chi-Chi or Bulma? And who would actually win in a fight? Now, this is one of those Dragon Ball questions that sounds like a joke, I'm sure, and you're already rolling your eyes, until you remember that Chi-Chi was obviously trained as a martial artist from childhood, and Bulma has spent most of her life relying on something completely different, which is her intelligence. So if we're comparing the two individuals, the two ladies, there's a pretty clear answer, but the interesting part is the why in regards to the gap. Now, obviously, Chi-Chi has the legitimate martial arts background. She isn't just Goku's wife who happens to yell at him like most naive and, I would say, inexperienced Dragon Ball fans say, when he does something stupid. She was introduced as the daughter of the Ox King, and she was already trained in martial arts well before she ever met Goku, okay? And then we actually see her fight. And then we see her first encounter Goku. And then we see that she's actually capable of holding her own against him to some degree. And she's wearing that helmet with the blade on it. She's using her strength, and she's clearly been trained to defend herself. That's during the World's Martial Arts Tournament, the 23rd World's Martial Arts Tournament. And when you look at how she's been trained, how she's fought, how she's competed, she is physically capable of doing things that ordinary human women in Dragon Ball simply could not. So if we're asking the simplest version of the question, who is stronger physically, Chi-Chi has the obvious advantage, but here's where Bulma comes in, okay? Bulma has strength that's never been really physical. That's what makes the comparison interesting, because Bulma's probably one of the most important humans, if not the most important human, potentially in the entire Dragon Ball story, despite having no combat ability. She created the Dragon Radar, okay? She helps develop technology, allowing people to travel through space. She owns Capsule Corporation. She's capable of building technology that the world's strongest fighters and the world's best scientists can't even do. Her intelligence becomes a real form and a real source of power, so she doesn't need to rely on physical strength. Her strength is her intelligence, her brain, and her ability to think so quickly on the spot. If we're strictly asking who is stronger, we have to separate intelligence from physical ability, right? Because Chi-Chi wins comfortably in the physical ability platform, but I think if we're obviously talking about the intelligence department, again, there's no one like Bulma quite that we know of as a human anywhere in the entire Dragon Ball story. And I think that's what's awesome about the two wives of the Saiyan warriors of Goku and Vegeta, because they've talked about it. Vegeta has mentioned it, they like strong women, they like strong independent women. Chi-Chi and Bulma both are strong and independent. We know that they miss their husbands to some extent. Chi-Chi probably misses Goku when he's away, because he's always away and he's died a few times, so that adds even more to it, unfortunately. So she has, I think, more reason to miss Goku on a more often basis. But if Chi-Chi has other things going on, she's completely preoccupied in what she's doing. And then there's that random part. She was like, oh, I wonder where Goku is, or I wonder what Goku is doing, or Gohan if Gohan isn't home. She loves her boys, man. I hate that Chi-Chi gets hate. Like, God forbid a mother loves her boys, and y'all treating her like she's the spawn of, like, Satan. I just don't get it. It's like tell me you don't have any real life experience with, like, the opposite gender while telling us, because Chi-Chi, as annoying as she can be to some people sometimes, she is the most ride or die, just like Bulma is the same for Vegeta. I hate that both women can get such negative, untruthful, unfactual, falsifying things said about them, and it's just like, are you even paying attention? Come on. If we look at who's stronger, they're both individually strong in different categories for different reasons. It's been Kaioken Striker.